happy Friday. Welcome to yet another episode of Sip and Learn with their favorite girl, Miss B. Today I will be chatting to Dr. Sianda and we'll be talking all things mental health. Uyazi nawe uwamkelekile to be a part of the conversation by simply dropping your question, whatever it is, your experience, your comment. You can always drop it on the comment section. All right, I am ready, Dr. Sianda. Right, so guys, we're going to be talking about mental health conditions. Right, so let me accept. Have you guys noticed the beginning of Jan? I mean, hey, hello. Wow, what's up, Mushe? You are welcome.
Njani?
Ngiyaphila unjani?
I'm good, ndiyaphila nam.
What's the occasion? Where are you going? Are you going on a date? What's the story?
This is the occasion.
I'm glad to know. How are you? How was your day? Let's start there.
No, I'm good. I think the days that I'm always chatting to you are always the more relaxed days.
Hey, I
So
love that.
busy week, but today was more of a chill day. I think it's because I want to take my time preparing for my chats with you. Yeah. How was your day?
Hey. My day was quite busy, hey? The opposite.
Mm.
Opposite. I had a lot going on, but at least it was productive. So thank you for
No.
asking.
Yes.
Right, so before we get started with Itopiki Namhlanje, we are talking about mental health conditions. Who is Dr. Sianda, and what role do you play at Kirit?
Okay, so Dr. Sianda, Wabamgangato, originally from the Eastern Cape, but currently living in KZN, the Tegwini area. Just enjoying the weather and the environment, the
Hey?
vibe. Yeah, yes. So I am what you call a young Kiredi doctor. So Kiredi is a youth program for the youth by the youth. So I am one of those young people, even though I have exited my 20s.
You're still young. You are
Yes.
still young. Trust me. Right, so
Yes.
thank you for that. Busakulum.
Oh no, so I was going to say the role that I play then is more of kind of ambassador of the program, ambassador, creating awareness of certain health issues affecting the youth, and being a voice for the people in communities, with various people that are involved with providing services. And also then having our mobile teams as well supporting them as they reach out in communities.
Right, guys, we have with Dr. Sianda joining us in the building. In case you have questions around mental health conditions, please do not be afraid. What drop on the comment section. So before nje size siye kabanzi we mental health, what is mental health and what does it encompass?
Okay, so mental health is basically just the health of your mind. So it involves your emotions, your psychological and your social well-being. So anything that can affect you mentally. And the reason why it's so important is because it plays a major role in how we feel, how we act, and how we think. So how we will handle stressful situations, and how we will interact with other people, and the decisions that we make, it will definitely affect those. So it's very important.
So who can be affected by mental health conditions? And
Has experienced some type of mental health condition, so it's really vast. And I know for myself, just speaking about my family, there is depression, history of depression in my family. I've had anxiety, received treatment, and it's just an ongoing process to make sure that you know that you're just well. So genetics does well. they say that it can play a role. It's just very difficult to prove because they haven't been able to identify specific genes linked to it. But specifically with the common ones, anxiety and depression, they found that if you have a family history of those conditions, that you are more likely, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you will have those conditions, but you are more likely. So yeah, so I think I've answered your question. So triggers. So yes, there are multiple triggers. It will just depend. Any change in your life can trigger, especially a significant change. So a loss of someone,
Yeah.
or some other type of stressor, divorce, or like a financial setback, that you really take hard, having specific traumas in your life, having experienced abuse, those things can really trigger and emotional imbalance. And I think a good example of emotional imbalance would be after a woman or a mother rather has delivered a baby, that those hormonal changes that take place, can lead to depression in some people, which would be then known as postpartum depression. So, yeah, so it depends. It can happen to anyone in any situation, which is why I think a lot of people are speaking out and trying to create awareness so that people are able to look out for the signs and then take action before things become really bad.
So, Sayona Leoma triggers. Do you think starting a new year can actually trigger depression and anxiety?
It can. I think, especially with this tradition of New Year's
Resolution.
resolutions, if you feel like maybe in the past year you had set goals and in February already, things were already dying down, and then you just discouraged the following year, and it's like a cycle that just keeps going. And also with most people, I think with young people as well, January usually comes with a lot of changes, starting a new grade, moving from high school to varsity, starting a new job, so it just comes with a lot of changes, and so for some people just a lot of uncertainties. Maybe you lost your job, your contract was ending in December, and now you're sitting in January and you're not sure, what's happening. So yeah, but going back to the New Year's resolution, I'm not saying people shouldn't have New Year's resolutions, but I think also
Okay, I
just
think
being
we lost you there, Dr. Sianda.
oh, I'm sorry, I was just saying, going back to the New Year's resolutions, can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we'll say a break, but I can hear you now.
I'm
Can
so
we go
sorry.
back to the New Year's resolution? Because I feel
Yes,
Zwanga.
yes, yes. So I was saying that I'm not saying that people shouldn't have New Year's resolutions, but I think they just need to be realistic and just know themselves and understand their capabilities, but without limiting themselves at the same time. So it's like kind of finding a
I love
balance so
that.
that they're not discouraged, every time they have to try and meet their goals.
Sure. Thank you for that. That's really insightful. Now let's talk about the signs. We hardly
Mm.
ever notice the signs. So what are the signs to mental
They
health?
can be subtle, especially if you're not paying attention, or they can start off quite small and then just keep building. So you can just notice that you're feeling a bit anxious just all the time about small things, even, and you're just feeling unmotivated. You're feeling a bit depressed. You're not enjoying things that you used to enjoy. Maybe if you're someone who used to enjoy jogging or reading, you just try those things and you're just like, I'm not getting any joy from this anymore. Sleeping in more than usual, or just feeling like during the day you're constantly just feeling tired and you just want to sleep. Or on the opposite, some people might just sleep less. They're struggling to sleep. and then changes in appetite. So you might eat more than you usually do, and then that leads to weight gain, or you might eat very little food, and then that leads to weight loss. So it's just just about knowing the person and being able to identify these subtle changes. I think the biggest thing to that's a red flag is when a person is starting to have suicidal thoughts, and then at that point it's very urgent that they receive yeah, that they receive assistance. So you start thinking that I don't really want to be alive anymore. You're just feeling hopeless, and it might lead to you actually starting to make plans, be like, okay, this is how I could do it, and then you slowly starting to like prepare or something like that. That really is a significant sign that says, okay, something is really going on.
Sure. I love that you're mentioning it because no matter what, but you can notice, you know, your family members and friends. Thank you for that.
Um,
So let's tap into my treatments. What is the treatment for mental health conditions?
So the treatment can be a combination of three things. So you
Okay.
can go for counseling, or there's type of therapies that can be done. So it depends on the type of mental condition that you have, because there is a number of them. And that would then be done by your psychologist or a psychiatrist. And then lifestyle, it's called lifestyle modification. So basically how your general health, basically. So like eating healthy, exercising, having healthy habits, trying by all means to avoid things that will trigger you if you can, or learning how to then handle your triggers. And then the other option would then be your medication. So being on medication that you're taking, that can be up for months or up to years. It just depends on the type of condition that you have. But I will always go back to the lifestyle. So having a healthy lifestyle, it really does play a significant role in making sure that you are not only physically healthy but mentally healthy. So yes, healthy habits, eating well, and exercising.
By the way, speaking of taking care of your body and being healthy, you've actually ngabe kanjani? Liphile igama lesiNgisi. But I'm motivated. You've actually motivated me to start working out again. It's been 2 days already, just getting up like really early in the morning. I always listen to what you say when my interviews, you know, from back then. Says like we radio on DRR. So I was like, eish, yabona dokotela lo. Aish. By the way, that was my old habits because I used to be a dancer before. I'm still a dancer. It's just that I'm on a break. So I used to work out a lot. 2020, COVID happened, lockdown happened, and
Yeah.
then umuntu wahlala, I started gaining back a lot of weight. And that's when I actually stopped working out. So by doing Lama interviews, you've actually motivated me to go back.
Oh,
So
I am
shout
so
out to
glad.
you.
I am so glad. I'm so
Right,
glad.
so back to our topic.
Mm.
So now let us talk about the treatments for mental health. Question for but let's let's go deeper into treatments in mental health.
So I don't want to go too deep because they can be quite technical
Uh-huh.
and specific. Um, So maybe I can take maybe anxiety for an example. There are different types of anxieties, but the most common type would be generalized anxiety. So that's when you just anything can cause you anxiety. Going out into public spaces, you're always overthinking, about other people, worried about them if they don't text you that I'm home safe, you now like frantic thinking, oh my gosh, something happened.
Yeah.
So it can just be anything in your life. And Um, yeah, so with those, there's definitely medication because then there's physical symptoms as well with that, where you just really feel like something's wrong with you, and you can actually they can lead to panic attacks as well. So you'd have your heart is beating too fast, you just feel like you can't think, the room is closing in on you, and yeah, you just you're feeling like in your stomach something, like there's pit in your stomach type of feeling. So yeah, there's a lot of things that you can experience. So yeah,
Uh-huh.
so there's the medical treatment that you can receive for that, and then as well as counseling, or therapy that you go for that, to also try and help you sort of like desensitize and be more rational about the things that usually give you, that usually give you anxiety. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. So what are the treatments for mental health conditions? What are they? So finally, give us an idea. What's going? Am I treatments are kanjani?
I'm sorry, I think maybe we broke up there.
Did we?
You hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had a bit
So
of my network issues. I disappeared for a
yeah.
while.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
no,
please,
it's
ngicela
fine.
ungiphindela bandla. Sorry.
No problem. So I was just giving anxiety as an example, that you would have specific therapies that you would go through to
Okay.
help sort of like desensitize you to and for you to just be more rational in your way of thinking about the things that cause you. That cause the anxiety, and then also medication to help with the anxiety, but also kind of managing the symptoms of it, because they can be physical sometimes. You'd get your heart beating fast. You'd get yeah, so just pains in your chest, those just type of things. So those then would help with those symptoms as well. So it would just depend with each type of mental illness. With some mental illnesses, a person might have hallucinations, they might have delusions that there's something that they're not. No matter how much you try and convince them that these things are not true,
Mm.
they just really believe it. So then you would have medication there that then helps with those symptoms that they're experiencing.
Okay, loud and clear. Sorry
Mm.
about that. The network is
No
misbehaving.
problem. No
So now let's
problem.
back to Kiriti. What role does
Mm.
Ukiriti play in mental health?
So, like you say, we are on quite a few platforms. So we are in 4 provinces: Western Cape, Gauteng, KZN, and Eastern Cape. So in all these provinces, we've been fortunate to have platforms as the Young Doctors. I'm just one of 10, I think. So as the Young Doctors, where we can do health education and do health awareness, where we talk about these things and we just try and share that. There's also nothing to be ashamed of. Some people have shared their stories and their personal experiences.
Sure,
Um,
the network is
ah,
quite terrible, hey?
can you hear me? Yo, can you hear me? Am I back?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can hear you. It's just
yeah.
that, yeah,
It
ngiyakuzwa
just
kodwa.
keeps glitching. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. No, it's fine. So we've been quite vocal about mental health. Number of conversations that we've had on our TikTok lives, even our male doctors have spoken on it, so that everybody knows that it's not just like a female thing. The men as well need to be aware of this. And also then in our mobile units, we have a mental health screening tool where you just scan the QR code and you go through a questionnaire to determine the state of your mental health. And then our staff is like readily available to assist you and connect you to someone. Should you need assistance. And we also have our WhatsApp line where we've had a number of people reaching out about their mental health, some actually threatening suicide, and us being able to talk to them and link them to the relevant people that can give them the support that they. Hi. I don't know if you got that. I don't know what's happening. I think maybe, yeah, I don't know what's happening. Maybe my network.
I don't know if it's my network or yours, yes? But I heard you
I'm
loud and clear.
also
It's just that it
think,
was glitching. Yeah?
okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
hmm So how can we connect with you? Because you did mention WhatsApp and your social media platforms. Can you just give that to us again so that we can connect
Yes.
with you?
So no problem. So our WhatsApp line is it runs 24/7. You have a doctor answering the questions, or one of our well-trained nurses as well, but they always reach out to us as well should they need the assistance. So our number is 060 019 0000.
Mpindela?
And then 060 019 0000. Yes, and then
Okay,
we're
awesome
also
stuff.
on all the social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and we are at Kireti SA.
So are we back to doing lives on
I
Wednesdays on
think
TikTok?
we'll be starting next month, so maybe the second week of February, but we're definitely continuing with those.
I'm sure you can tell I can't wait. It's the second time I'm asking you this.
Yes, you're asking me every time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
We
we'll
cannot
definitely be
wait.
back.
Right, so
Yes.
is there anything you'd like to add before we let you go? I want to keep you here forever.
Personally, I don't mind. I don't mind. Well, I guess what I could say with regards to mental health is that I know there is a stigma attached to it, sort of like if you're going through something like this or you're experiencing mental health issues, you're someone who's weak or anything like that, especially with
Hmm.
the guys.
Yeah.
I honestly think that the hardest thing to do is actually ask for help, especially in those type of situations. So yeah, it's definitely not something to be ashamed of, especially it's something that's very common, especially in our times now with all the uncertainties that the youth is facing, unemployment, even doctors
Hmm.
are struggling with that now, and struggling to get into universities,
Yeah.
so there's just a lot of, and then, the economy, finances are
Ish.
just not financing
Tell
for
me
anyone.
about it.
So, it's just really a difficult time. So these things, mental health conditions can be quite common then in people when they have these stresses and they just keep piling up one after
Hmm.
the other. So I just like to say to everyone, just be mindful, know yourself, and don't be ashamed. Just seek help when you see that you need help, and don't be afraid to talk to someone that you think might need help. You might just be that person, or maybe they were waiting for someone to just speak to them and say, you actually do need help, and just have that support. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's all.
Right, so today is Friday. What would you suggest, Umuntu, that's maybe assuming right now, with maybe I might be going through depression and anxiety. What
Mm.
would you suggest lo muntu ayenze over the weekend to maybe calm themselves down?
So the worst thing you can do with those two conditions is to isolate yourself.
Ish.
Definitely, because actually that's one of the triggers, especially for depression,
Is
is if you isolate yourself. So definitely don't isolate yourself. Um, but I would say that continue to do what you enjoy
mm,
doing, you know, um, and then just be physically active, get out of the house, breathe in some fresh air, go sightseeing, even if it's in like your backyard, or drive to the beach
mm,
for a walk.
mm,
But if you feel like the symptoms are really bad, definitely seek help. They can reach out on our WhatsApp line, even,
mm,
and we can connect them to NPOs that work virtually, or just over the phone if they don't want to leave
mm,
their place or have to drive somewhere. But definitely seek help if you're feeling that it's something that needs urgent attention. Our clinics, there are clinics, the government clinics that are open
mm,
24/7. If you want to, you can go to private as long as you get help. Or if you feel like you don't want to go into a medical facility, or yeah, then you can just tell someone, tell your friend, tell your sibling, tell your parents, whoever is close by, and then they can just support you this weekend and just make sure that you're safe and that you're eating well and that you're just okay.
mm.
Yeah.
Dr. Sianda for president. Boo, 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 boo.
Fresh.
Thank you so much
Thank
for your time.
you.
I
Thank
mean, it's a
you.
Friday. Thank you so much for making time out of your
Mm,
relaxing schedule, namhlanje. And we are right behind everything eyenziwa uKireti. And right
mm,
now, whoever's watching, whoever will watch this live, uzolandela ama-pages akakireti at
yeah.
Kireti SA. Listen, have an amazing weekend. Thank
Yes.
you.
What are you doing this weekend? I'm always interested. I feel like when I watch your statuses, I'm just like, oh, girl is like living the life.
Okay, is on a break, okay? Because usually
Mm,
every Saturday I run the two academies, the dance
mm,
academies. So
I
like
can
it's a
say, yeah.
it's a group of kids under 21. We have
Mm,
Abanya under 16, and then we have Abanya
mm,
over 16 but under 21.
mm,
So we're on a break until the 24th of January. So okay, Sasa Uya relaxa. I don't have a gig.
mm,
My mom and I were supposed to go shopping because it's Suba Nomcimbi ngomhla 17 Feb. But my mom
mm.
was like, we
You
are
just
tired from
need
working out
brain.
this
Yes.
gym, I think a break. So I'm going to have a very relaxed weekend.
Mm,
Tomorrow ngihlala la ekhaya, ngenzi lutho. Sunday I might cook, but it's
mm.
gonna be a chilled and
Oh no,
relaxed day.
you must enjoy those weekends are very important as well. Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
important.
being able
Very.
to
Thank
spend
you
time
for
out.
asking.
Oh, no problem. I just enjoy chatting with you.
Likewise.
Mm,
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have an
mm,
amazing evening further. And I'm
mm.
wishing you all the best for year 2024.
Thank
May
you.
you receive every single thing you've prayed for.
Thank you. Thank you. Same to you. Same to you.
Thank you so much. Good
Good
night.
night. Good night to everybody.
Good night, everyone. Thank you so much, Dr. Sianda.
Thank you.
Right, guys, my goodness, that was insightful, right? Very informative. Dr. Sianda from Kireti. Please follow their social media pages at Kireti SA. Don't forget to follow her on her Instagram. Bekade ngikhuluma naye njengamanje, Sianda Mgangatho. Please go follow her. Very, very informative. group of doctors at Kireti. I'm hoping Sobanai every single week because from our South African beautiful young doctors. Right, so from me it is a wrap, but what I will do, I will save this live, and this is how we wrap up Sip and Learn. I need to relax. Had a crazy day. But now I am just going to take a warm bath and then sleep. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Bye for now.